Hey, how's it going, guys? We are back with some more Boba Fett, the third episode of the Book of Boba Fett now. Episode 2 was great. Episode 2, I personally loved it. I know there's been some, some mixed opinions on pretty much how the show is going, but also, given that we're not, super far in, once episode 2 came out, there was some kind of mixed opinions that came out with it and everything, which I guess which is respectable. But then then yeah, still mixed opinions here and there. But I loved it. I loved episode 2. I loved what they did with it. What Steph Green actually like what direction she took the new kind of Boba Fett character in. And like the kind of history that she gave him, and the kind of like the new kind of rebirth that she gave him with him and his partnership with the Tuscans and everything. It was really great. Like, he had some really great stuff, like really great story with the Tuscans, and like a new bond with them, and like a new kind of path, and like a new rebirth and everything. So that was really cool. And seeing again, I think I actually did go back and actually watch like his episode of The Mandalorian with Fennec and Mando after watching that episode. And again, it feels so much better, and it feels so different to actually knowing that it's almost like two different kind of sides of him too. Like, there's the Boba, and then there's the Fett. The Fett to me, I think, I mean, I guess there might be a better way to name it besides from just separating its two names. But still, like, there's the Boba, which is the Boba of the Tuscans, and then there's Fett, the bounty hunter and everything. So technically not a bounty hunter, but still, Fett in the actual kind of Mandalorian armor, and then there's Boba, the Tuscan, with the robes and the garbs and the gaffy stick. It's called a gaffy stick. I actually learned that it's called a gaffy stick, so that's really cool. So that's really fun. Just like the way he was kind of like rebirthed into Tuscan culture, and the way they gave like that they integrated him in into their kind of into their kind of world, and their lifestyle, and like they gave him everything he had. It was just like a really solid episode. So I really can't wait to see where they go from here, and what more to the flashbacks there might be too. So thinking about the flashbacks too, I think I'm kind of curious as to whether it's going to lead straight into the first time we see him in the Mandalorian season 2, or if it's going to be like running up to like maybe halfway through the season, and then the rest of it is going to be all the present day stuff that really matters and everything. Or because I think because apparently it's like there is like a bit of a while between when he falls in and when he gets out, so he's been in there for like long enough for him to sustain those kind of even the physical kind of skin injuries and everything. So then it's going to take him a while to actually kind of still heal up and be the Boba that we see in Mandalorian season 2. But for the most part, I think it should be kind of cutting close enough to the actual present day stuff that we actually might be able to still kind of have like majority present day stuff handled in the final couple of episodes, or final few episodes or something. So, and I believe this one is meant to be 6 episodes long. So I think this is pretty much like halfway through the series as well, or like halfway through the season. So I guess we'll see exactly how far they go with it. But so far it's been great. So far it's been really fun to watch. So can't wait to see where it goes. So in the past, he helps the Tuscans too. I think they kind of encounter like a train filled with just a train filled with some unsuspecting kind of spice runners who think that the Tuscans are threats. So then they fire first, and then he took down the train, and then he actually made them a deal that if they want to use Tuscan lands as part of their trade route, then they need to actually pay a toll every time they go through, or they can't go through. And if they try and kill any more Tuscans in the name of safety and caution, then they will get that same death returned back to them tenfold. So he made them a pretty sweet deal. So that was fun. That was cool. So actually, already seeing even pre Tuscan Boba, or already kind of showing signs of actually leading and actually making kind of deals, and negotiating those kinds of terms through respect and through mutual agreement and everything. So yeah, I'm just really liking the direction that they're actually taking Boba in with this series and everything. So can't wait to see exactly how he uses that to deal with the present day stuff too. Like, the present day, he's actually come against the twins, Jabba's twin cousins, who found out that like Jabba was dead, and that the throne was apparently open. But then they come to Mos Espa to actually find that Boba's sitting on the throne now. So now they are kind of like, they're not letting it go, but I think they're just not really fighting him for it now. So eventually they will try and do something, and they will try and make some kind of move for it. And they've even got like a Wookiee. I think I read his name somewhere too. He's not just like Dark Chewie or anything. I think I kind of the episode temporarily dubbed him as Dark Chewie, but I think Black Chrysanthemum, I think it is. I think I've no idea how to actually pronounce it, but I think he's a comic book character. He's an actual Star Wars comic book character, and he is a Wookiee. He is in fact a Wookiee. If that part wasn't obvious enough, but he is a Wookiee. So I think he's called a Black Chrysanthemum. I think it is, and he has like I think he fought like Obi-Wan way back when in the comics, and he has like a giant. He's meant to have like a giant scar across his face from said battle. So that'll be cool to see when that happens, and maybe I should probably even check those comics out. Just add it to my backlog of other comics and stuff that I need to check out. So that'll be cool. So we met them, and then apparently the Order of the Nightwind assassins weren't. I think they either weren't hired by the mayor, or the mayor is covering it up or something. So they still need to find out what's happening there. But I think present day dilemma still stays the same, that people are opposed to Boba taking the throne, and they're trying to take him off the throne and everything. So Boba's cousins are just Jabba's cousins are just like the newest kind of contenders and everything. So yeah, so I think at some point maybe they'll either get him to fight Chrysanthemum, or they'll get Chrysanthemum to fight Fennec or something, and then that'll be maybe like a kind of like a trial by combat, but then the winner gets the throne and everything. So maybe that's how it goes. But I don't know. But either way, Jabba's cousins are here, and they're not happy, and they want the throne. So there's that much. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've actually picked up from episode number 2. So on to episode number 3 of the Book of Boba Fett, chapter 3. So yeah, let's go into it.
Under the protection of the name that should not be spoken.
You can say Jabba.
Under the protection of Jabba the Hutt.
You must not be.
He can't hurt you.
Oh
I was
boy.
concerned that you would feel insulted. Mos Espa was divided amongst 3 families.
Oh, are we Game of Thronesing
The
this?
Trandoshans took
Are we
the
Game of
city
Thronesing this right now?
The
The
Aqualish,
Trandoshans.
the workers' district here, and the Clatoonians.
A street gang of insolent youths have been stealing my inventory. Now,
Those
it never
damn
happened
youths.
under the other Daimyos. They are half man, half machine.
Cyborgs?
Modify their bodies with droid parts. to
Droid
make themselves
cyborgs?
even
Really? That's
more
a thing?
deadly.
We stole it.
That's a crime.
It's a crime what he charges.
We stole it. Wait, that's illegal.
Old man.
My
Oh.
name is Boba Fett.
Then why'd you let the Monga charge us a month's wages for a week's war?
That we have any wages.
Then you will work for me.
Work for Boba. Yeah, be a part of his crew.
You got guts.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. You better fight as good as you talk, Dank. Give them 500.
What? They owe 1,300.
I heard you the first time. Take the 500 and consider it resolved. If you want to continue, rest of you gather up your gack, follow me.
Damn. You can't say he doesn't try and do it win-win. The guy still gets at least something, and they get jobs. Yeah, they get new jobs, better jobs. Yeah, memories of Kamino. So this is archive footage from the movie, right? Because I can't imagine that they would definitely not be able to actually reshoot anything. Unless, well, if they didn't show the face. Well, I can. That's still cool. That's still cool.
The Kentan Striders have already collected protection money for the same territory you lay claim to.
You don't have to pay that speeder bike gang. We
Oh, the
far
speeder
outnumber
bike.
them.
Yeah, the douches from the
Sands
bar.
have belonged to the Tuscans since the oceans dried.
But we do not want to be taken advantage of by paying protection to both. Understand?
You gotta sort out the speeders.
I will resolve this.
Yeah. Oh no, fire. Fire. Oh no, what happened? No. No. Don't tell me the Tuscans. No. Oh, sweet mother of... He left for 5 minutes. He walked away for 5 minutes. Oh, was that his trainer? Was that his trainer? Oh, fuck. Jabba, I think that's the Jabba symbol, right? Or, I don't know. Oh no, that's them. No, that's the bikers. Oh, it's the same bikers. Same bikers, yeah. We had them for we had them well for 1 episode. We had them well and good for 1 episode. That was it. lose to just like fucking that. No, you gotta, can't let this slide. That's actually really sad. That actually fucking sucks. That really fucking sucks. He found a family, and then as soon as they took him in, he loses them. As soon as they took him in, he loses them. God damn it. Oh! Chrysanthemum! You attacking a dude in his sleep, really? God, Jesus. Black Chrysanthemum, he just showed up out of nowhere. Oh. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh. Oh no. Oh god, I knew who did. I knew he would bite them. I knew he would bite. Oh. Oh, her. The girl from the road. Oh. Oh, damn. Okay, they got weapons. They got weapons, okay. Oh, blasters. Tasers. Oh, jeez. Oh. The body of where's Fennec? Where the hell is Fennec? Fennec will be able to clear this dude in like 2 seconds. Where the hell is Fennec? Oh, got the neck. Fennec, here she is. What did I say? What did I say? Cleared in 2 seconds. Cleared in 2 seconds. Cleared in 2 damn seconds. There we go. See? Cool fight scene nonetheless. Cool fight scene nonetheless. But yeah, Fennec just comes in. Bing, bang, boom. Oh, she's proud.
Enough food.
That is so much food. That is so much food.
You're the head of a family.
The twins are here.
The
They have brought a
Of
gift.
course. Is it another Chrysanthemum? Is it another Dark Wookiee? What's their gift? Their sincerest apologies? That would be really useful. Oh, they're sincere. We don't know if it's a sincere, it's the apologies, but... We are so... Oh, we... You know what, we sent him to kill you, but we're sorry now. We're sorry he failed and got caught. Yeah, we're sorry he failed and got caught. Yeah. Sissy, what is that? Is that Danny Trejo? Is that Danny Trejo? That's Danny Trejo! Okay. Oh damn, they don't even take Chrysanthemum back. Can they recruit him to their side? Because he fought well, he fought like hell up until Fennec came along. I thought they might recruit him. Because he's a hell of a fighter. Oh, he's got the scar, I think he's got the scar there. He's a hell of a fighter. I thought they might actually keep him on their side. Just add more, you know, strength in numbers.
You sure that was a good idea?
Rancor are emotionally
Oh, so this is a Rancor. This is an actual Rancor, so they can actually finally put something in the actual Rancor pits.
imprints on the first human it sees.
Oh.
Now that we arrived, I will begin his training.
Is it going to imprint on Boba? Or can it imprint on like a clone? Or does it have to be like a host human?
They can become very loving.
I thought they were bred just to fight.
They're powerful fighters, so that is what most
But there's more
know.
to them.
But they form strong bonds with their owners.
So they're like
Said
pets.
That the
Like
witches
pets.
of Dathomir.
Oh. Such beautiful dark eyes. First human it sees. How does it imprint? How does the imprint work?
Like this.
Excuse me, Lord Fett.
Not now, I'm busy.
We heard back from the mayor's
I'm
office.
busy having fun with a Rancor.
Completely unavailable for at least the next 20 days.
Oh, how
Feed the Rancor.
convenient.
Full Ronto carcass from the larder.
Don't worry. You'll be back.
You'll be back. Your new human will be back. That's so cool, he gets a Rancor. Yeah, Boba Fett gets a Rancor. And he has a whole new crew behind him too with multicolored speeders. That is so cool. That is so cool. They have multicolored speeders.
If you wish to continue breathing, I advise you to weigh your next words carefully.
Did he just lock the door?
Oh no. Are they gonna escape? Is that like a back window or something? Tell me there's no back door or back window. Or some kind of door.
Thank Farrak.
Dank Farrak. Oh, they pulled that back, yeah. Dank freaking Farrak. Oh no, he's escaping. He's escaping, yeah. Alright. Get on, yeah. Get after him. Get after him. See, these guys aren't even troublesome. They are cooperative once you give them the treatment they deserve. Once you give them the treatment, the wages they deserve, they're cooperative and they're very hard workers. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you can make that. You can make that. There we go. Okay. Oh, you can make that too. Nice. They can both make it. That dude genuinely looks like Cyborg too. I think he has an actual robot eye on one side. So they're really going for the whole Cyborg thing. And I think she has like a metal arm. Yeah. So we got the Winter Soldier and we got Cyborg. Right. Oh, even as like a... Oh, damn. Oh, these guys are good. These guys are good. Went just a little bit more forward. Come on, you got this. Come on, you got this. I have faith in you. Attack from above. Death from above. Death from above. Do it, death from above. There we go. There we go. There we go. Lots of property damage, but still, that, yeah. Oh, just like Back to the Future. Just like Back to the Future.
Good work. Keep an eye on them. Sorry, it's an expression.
You don't have to be sorry, mate. I paid a lot for this. Proud of my eye.
He can still can he still see through that? Like, does he have like different like sonar vision or like X-ray vision or something? Oh, directed by Robert Rodriguez. Oh god, yeah. Robert Rodriguez has done some really great stuff. Written by Jon Favreau and directed by Robert Rodriguez. They've both done some great fucking stuff for Star Wars TV. They have done some incredible stuff for Star Wars TV, and especially Mandalorian. Oh god, no wonder this episode was so good. So yeah, that was a really fun episode. That was a really great one. I think again, directed by Robert Rodriguez. I think his episodes, even in the Mandalorian, have always been really kind of medium to fast paced, and really kind of like really high tension and high stakes and everything. So this one, it really feels like at least especially like building up to the end. It actually feels like things are starting to really pick up, and it's gonna be like more like a fight and more like a fight to claim the throne and everything by the end of the season, so that's really fun. But yeah, so what did we have? We had Boba recruiting some new people, some new members into his crew, some youths. It did, I think, described inaccurately by that water vendor dude as troublesome youths and like a gang of street youths. I mean, he described them as a gang of street youths, but then the implication there was that they're like probably inherently troublesome or they're causing trouble because they use or something. But then no, they did steal the water, which again is a crime, is illegal. But then Boba being the crime lord, he can he can kind of make the decisions on what crimes he gives a pass on and what he actually passes kind of judgment on and everything. So he saw who they were and how they were, and he saw potential in them. He saw potential, and he kind of figured that kind of potential was best nurtured and flourished on his side, on his side of the kind of coming kind of battle and everything. So he decided to actually recruit them. And I think, truth be told too, I think even the way that Boba reacted to even the way that Boba reacted to the price that the water vendor gave, like 1,500 credits on him. Even for him, he was like, that is ridiculously high, and they should not be being charged that much for for water, and even probably even for the water they stole. So then he decided to come to a compromise. I think he gave him like 500, so I think 500 or 300 or something. So he came to a compromise on both ends too. He gives the guy the money, less than he asked for, but still he gives the guy some money. And then with the kids, he still manages to compromise with them. He's like, instead of locking you up or putting you in prison or anything, I see you have talents and you have skills and you have potential, both physically and behaviorally as well. Like, you just need the right path in life. The same way I did, you just need the right path in life. So he's like, if you want to work and you want to earn like a fair wage and everything, why don't you come work for me, and then I can actually set you up and you can do some good and try and serve like a higher purpose or something. So he recruited them, but after he recruited them, that was when their true colors started to shine. Even like in the combat against Chrysanthemum, in the car chase sequence, like they were actually skilled. They worked together. They were well coordinated. They knew what they were doing. They actually started to shine. They actually started to shine once they were taken under the wing of someone who actually bothered to give them a chance and bothered to actually kind of care about them and everything. And then at that point, they actually had someone worth fighting for. So then at that point, it's like then you start to see them more as the actual skilled kind of individuals, and even as the skilled group that they are, as opposed to just like as opposed to some petty criminals who are just who are looking for trouble or something, because they're not looking for trouble, they're literally just looking to survive in the workers district, in like a district that in a district that barely manages to actually pay them a fair wage and everything. So you know, they were just getting screwed over by life, and they felt, you know, pushed to from a drastic measures and everything, which kind of cost them very nearly. But then Boba came along, and I think Boba then realized that, you know, punishment is only going to get them so far, and it's probably also not really going to send the right message. Like, you know, everyone knows that if you commit a crime, then the punishment comes, but then, you know, that doesn't really kind of stop them from actually wanting to meet their ends and everything. So then he gave them the chance to actually meet their ends in a much more in a much more fair and efficient kind of way. So he recruited them, and they started to actually shine, and they actually started to, you know, see some good in their new leader and everything. And I think even them who actually saw him as nothing more than a crime lord actually started to see that he actually wanted to lead with peace and with respect and civility and everything. So then they decided to actually give him a further chance. So things worked out. Things really worked out in the end for them. So that was good. But yeah, then the Hutts sent Chrysanthemum to fucking assassinate him again. So that's the thing. The first time it's a public assassination at the hands of the Order of the Nightwind, and now with this one, it's a much more private one, a much more private assassination attempt at the hands of Black Chrysanthemum in the Bactopod. Like the dude literally. I don't know if he actually broke the Bactopod or if he actually just opened it up and then took him out. But then either way, he actually, you know, opened it up and actually, you know, took him out and interrupted him in the middle of his actual Bactopod kind of sleep session. So Chrysanthemum gave no fucks. He had no chill. He was willing to, I think, you know, even if Boba had been on the toilet, he probably would have just come barging in and picked him up and thrown him across the room or something. So Chrysanthemum had a job to do, and he was there to make sure that he did it, no matter what was going on, no matter what kind of situation, precarious or otherwise, that his, you know, target was going to be in. He was prepared and willing and ready to do what he had been ordered to do. So he did that. He put him at the Bactopod, and then, you know, Boba being like half naked, and not really being suited up, not really being in the actual kind of right attire or situation for combat. He's like, you know, just mere feet away from his weapons and everything. So he tries to grab what he can, but then Chrysanthemum is fully prepared. So you know, that assassination attempt was ballsy. That was ballsy, and I mean, arguably the public one was a bit ballsy too. I mean, the public one I think was also like a bonus way to kind of humiliate the new kind of Daimyo, because of the fact that, like, especially if he's not expecting and he can't handle a public assassination, then it kind of reflects badly on him. But with this one, I feel like with this one it was like slightly more ballsy, with actually sending Chrysanthemum into the Daimyo's private quarters and actually having him sneak in in the middle of the night, no less, and actually having him sneak and actually attack him. I think because he got past the crew, he got past the bodyguards, he got past Fennec. Fennec was, okay, two things about Fennec. For one thing, Fennec was unseen for the entire fight up until the very end. And second, you know, again, like I said, Fennec, you know, she walked in, she cleared the guy in 2 seconds. I mean, again, you know, one might argue that, oh, it's because he was standing over the actual kind of Rancor cage kind of door thing, but still, you know, no one else was waiting at the button. She came out from the side, but still, like, no one else thought to rush over to the button as soon as he landed on the Rancor cage door and then press it. Like she came out, she spotted him on the Rancor cage door, and then decided to actually leave him trapped under there. So, you know, everyone else was trying to take him out. She just kind of put him down and then left him to his own confines and everything. So, you know, Fennec, he came in 2 seconds, cleared him, bish bash bosh. Just, you know, Fennec knows how to do that. You know, she knows when to take someone out, and she knows when to put the energy into taking someone out, and when to just simply put them in a trap and kind of leave them caged up and figure out what to do with them later. So Fennec is a master tactician in that way. So that was cool. But yeah, that was really cool. I think seeing Chrysanthemum actually holding his own against all of them too, that was really cool, because I think they all kind of put in like a pretty equal amount of actual kind of effort into try and actually into both offense and defense. Like, you know, like Boba was trying to do everything he could. He was, you know, covered in Bacta fluid, and he was half naked, and he was not in battle kind of ready kind of mode at all. So he did whatever he could, and then he, you know, I think especially especially Chrysanthemum picking him up, and then you could actually hear his bones crunching and cracking and his toes curling and everything. So he was actually being kind of crushed by Chrysanthemum, and then out of nowhere the kids come in. One of them's got like a dagger, and the other one's got like a electric, you know, lasso thingy. Other one's got blasters. Like, they all had their own weapons. They all had their own weapons and their own gear. So that was a really, really cool touch. So they came in, did their thing. And I just kind of love that image too. Like, I think I mean, on the one hand, maybe like a further speech between them might have been nice, like a further speech between, because all we really saw was Boba kind of inviting them to work for him. No kind of mention of exactly what they would be doing for him, or exactly what they would want to do, or what they would be willing to do. But then he just kind of took them in. I think maybe he gave them maybe he either kind of told them off screen, or he kind of told them like in like a much more minimalistic way in like a much more minimal way that just really wasn't really worth showing on screen. Maybe just kind of telling him like, okay, well, I need protectors and I need a crew to back me up when I need it. So in like a fight, in recon missions, in whatever, like like anything I ask you to do, I need you to know that you can do it and everything. So that kind of stuff. So then, especially when he's attacked, they come into his quarters and they're ready to back him up. They're ready to flank the guy and do their thing, and then even and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a nice enough change of pace from introducing them as these really kind of potentially shady kind of people, basically just based on the way that the water vendor has actually framed them to be, like nothing but thieves and scoundrels and everything. But then deep down, like they're actually just people trying to survive and just being treated unfairly by greedy kind of vendors and everything. So then that way, once they're taken in by someone who actually is willing to give them a chance and actually is willing to pay them, and he had like a whole banquet of food and everything, so he was more than happy to feed them as well. So he actually did give them the treatment they deserve, and especially after he actually realized like just how crazy the prices for the water were. He's like, okay, maybe they actually have a point there. So then he still tried to do a win-win on both sides. He still compensated the water vendor, but then actually gave the crew a kind of new chance and everything. So it's clearly a chance that's actually working out well for them, because then they're able to actually utilize all their skill sets and actually work for the new Daimyo in that case too. So that was cool. But seeing them so quickly and so readily come to his aid, knowing what was going on and actually analyzing the situation, actually being ready to face that kind of a threat, and actually not being afraid to go up against the Wookiee either, was actually really it was really good to see. And then they still kept it going, like even the bodyguards came through at the very end. The bodyguards came through and they kind of just tumbled down the stairs with him, and I think one of them actually got like a chunk taken out by the thing. I think especially like seeing Wookiees, like Wookiees have fangs. Wookiees, I think Chewie and Chrysanthemum have now shown us that Wookiees have fangs and they're very sharp. So I think like when Boba had his arm trying to close up the mouth and everything, I figured, oh, just one wrong slip, one wrong move, and he might just take a good chunk out of your hand or your arm or something. And then soon enough, he actually did that. So he almost lost his arm to them, but then one of the bodyguards did lose. I think maybe he'd lose like a bit of blood or like a chunk of skin to Chrysanthemum. So that happened. So everyone did their piece. Everyone actually did try, and then like Chrysanthemum fought back hard, fought back even harder, and the others actually fought him hard to begin with. So that happened, and then Fennec came in, cleared him out in 2 seconds, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. So good to see everyone actually taking part and actually everyone, being involved in trying to protect the Daimyo and everything. So that was cool. But yeah, so this is the second assassination attempt, the second one. So yeah. And then yeah, afterwards they do get like a visit later on from the twins, and I was half right. They did come to offer their apologies, but possibly not their sincerest, because again, I think their phrasing was, "Oh, we did in fact send Chrysanthemum to kill you in the middle of the night, and we're sorry about that." And it's like the kind of clear implication there is, okay, we're not necessarily sorry. Because we did what we wanted to do, and we did what was already obvious to you that we would do anyway. So they're not sorry. They're not specifically sorry that they sent him. But it's like we see that he failed, and you captured him, and you found out the truth about what happened. So we're sorry that he got caught, and it didn't actually like they were actually having this kind of conversation instead of like another one with him after he had presumably killed you. So yeah, it's like the whole, like we're not really sorry we did it, but more that we actually got caught and now we have to suffer this awkwardness too. So yeah, so they did that, and then I think that they brought like another gift with them in provided through Danny Trejo too. Danny Trejo in Star Wars. I honestly don't know if we've ever gotten him. I'm trying to think back to seeing if I'm trying to think back to any time we might have gotten him. I don't know. I think Rogue One pops up. I don't know if I'm actually thinking of him or if I'm thinking of someone else. I think Rogue One had like a lot of different other kind of like equally kind of famous names and other kind of actors who actually had their first time roles in Star Wars through Rogue One as well. So I don't know if if Rogue One has any connection, or if this is or if this is Danny Trejo's genuine first kind of role in Star Wars, and especially because of the fact that I think with this one too is like, you know, he would have been contacted and he would have been offered to have like a role or have like a cameo in Star Wars. So this seems like a first. This definitely feels like the first. So either way, it's cool. Even if he's a returning character of some kind or like a returning face, then either way, it's cool. So that's really fun. But he came in and he was the Rancor trainer. He was Rancor trainer. And I think the Hutts actually brought in a Rancor for them to finally put in their empty Rancor cage and everything. So that was cool. But the Hutts came with some news too that they were leaving and they were going back to Hutter. They were going back to their home land of Hutter, and that they were leaving because of apparently they were both lied to. Apparently I think they said that the Mokshais was actually selling off the territory to yet another syndicate that they both didn't know about. So both of them were kind of being fed the wrong end of the stick here. So that was their kind of warning to actually like that they were leaving and that Boba should do the same and never come back. So that's the end of them, or at least maybe potentially the end of them. Maybe they might make some other kind of surprise reveal. Well, I think maybe like once Boba gets rid of this threat too, maybe then they'll hear word of this and be like, hey, so he took care of the threat for us too. So now we only have to worry about him, and then they might try and come back in the finale and try and stir shit up again. So who knows? Who honestly knows? But that was the twins, and then they bought the Rancor too. So the Rancor is blind. I think he mentioned like blinded from birth or blinded from like a certain point onwards, because then the first human they see is the one that they imprint on. So don't know if the imprinting is actually happening. Like maybe if it's actually only imprinting through the eyes or imprinting in their memories. Maybe actually kind of keeping like a mental kind of imprint of the human's image in their memories or something. So, and I mean, I was kind of curious as to whether or not it would actually work on the clone too, because then my first thought was, but Boba is a clone, like an unaltered clone, but like a clone nonetheless. So, would it need to be like a host human, or would it still kind of do it would it still do it regardless of whether or not it actually recognizes host clone human material too. So I don't know. I guess it must have been done, because I think there was no obvious sign. As to what the imprint was meant to be, besides from perhaps like at the very least it being like an actual mental kind of imprint on the Rancor's brain and everything to actually remember who Boba was. But after that, he still managed to go up close to it and actually stroke it and be familiar with it and everything. So then that was like a good enough sign. So Boba now has a Rancor. He has a Rancor, so he can ride that thing into mighty battle and do all sorts of cool stuff with it. So he has a Rancor. He has a Rancor now, so that's cool. And yeah, I think the one thing I kind of wish they would have done was actually keeping Chrysanthemum around. I think because I feel like after everyone he's already recruited, because I think he knew that the bodyguards were opposed to him initially, and that they were kind of swore oaths to be in allegiance with Jabba and Bib Fortuna after him. So like they were already sworn like in allegiance to them. So he knew that from the get go they were kind of opposed to him and they would never surrender. So then he offered them the chance to actually work for him instead. So he did that with them. He recruited the kids this episode 2. So I don't know why he would just let Chrysanthemum go like that. I think I mean, unless there's some kind of history or some kind of actual kind of other kind of like imbalance or kind of incompatibility with between them that I'm not really aware of because of any kind of other history in like the comics or in any other kind of Star Wars media or something. But yeah, I mean, would it really? I don't really think it'd be a huge problem if he still kind of managed to recruit more like people the more he kind of met them, because then it would just show that he was actually careful and he was actually still being. Because again, to be fair, Chrysanthemum did attack him, so it wouldn't be the best kind of. I think that could be interpreted in different ways too. Like maybe technically people don't know it. I think this one was a private assassination, so there's no guarantee that anyone actually knows about it. So then that kind of it like makes it a slightly different kind of case. But at the same time, it's like I think maybe it's like I actually don't know. I think it would have been better if he actually. Or maybe if he offered, maybe if he didn't actually do it on the spot there, but maybe if he offered, like, if you want, you can come work for me. If you need to take your time, then take your time. Maybe if he offers and then Chrysanthemum's just like, maybe like if he says like in Wookiee, like, you know what, I mean, I don't know right now, but I'll come back later and decide. Or maybe if he actually gives him that kind of offer, like, you know, you don't have to decide now, but if you want to come back and actually work for me instead, then by all means, because then even the Hutts didn't want him after that too. The Hutts didn't want really any part of this, and they only really brought Chrysanthemum along to try and make a statement to Boba. So they didn't want Chrysanthemum anymore after that. So he pretty much has no I mean, not that he has no one else to turn to, but then he doesn't have anyone else immediately to actually work for or anything. So, you know, I feel like, you know, I feel like Boba could have at least made the offer of allowing Chrysanthemum to work for him, and then again, strength in numbers too, strength in numbers. Because again, like, you know, he showed that he held his own. He held his own. Like the others still put up a great fight. You know, the crew and the bodyguards and Boba, all of them combined, they put up a solid fight. But then he still held his ground. He still held his ground, and I think that is the kind of power they need on their side too. So like, I think, you know, having him on their side in his ranks and in the public image of Boba's kind of new council, that would really kind of work in his favor. So, you know, again, no guarantee that he won't show up in Boba's favor. Maybe in like the finale or the penultimate episode or something. Like maybe if Boba's in trouble, or maybe if the crew or someone is in trouble, then maybe, you know, Chrysanthemum might come out of nowhere and start helping out and actually, you know, then announce that he's actually on Boba's side now or something. So maybe that could still happen. But I feel like had he made the offer here, then it might feel a bit more like, you know, a bit more like a payoff, or maybe feel just kind of more kind of well set up for the future. But either way, I think the fact that he didn't kill him, the fact that he actually didn't kill him, and he actually did offer to spare his life, is actually like a good enough sign that, you know, like now Chrysanthemum was literally sent to murder this guy, and he still didn't kill him when he had the chance. He had the chance to actually to either imprison him or to actually kill him, or do something with him. But instead, he's like, you know what, you can go, just, you know, like take it from me. Don't work for dodgy people. Actually, work for people who are worth your time and worth your money and worth your kind of morals, if you have any. And then, you know, you give him that advice, and then you let him go. So I think maybe that might be the key. Maybe if he actually does struggle to find work, or if he actually does struggle to actually find someone worth working for, then he might, you know, think back to Boba and be like, you know what, that guy's worth protecting. I know I tried to kill him before, but that guy's actually worth protecting. So then he might come through in the end and everything. So I guess only time will tell. But still, I think it's like a good enough kind of introduction to the potential between Boba and Chrysanthemum to actually show that. So yeah, that was fun. And we had a much shorter flashback, but no less tragic. That flashback actually, just wow, just wow. They really pulled that on us. Like, you know, we had them in like a, you know, undeniably and kind of like antagonistic kind of like fashion in the first episode. Second episode gave us some great development between them and Boba, between Tuskens and Boba, and actually gave us like something to look forward to and something to actually kind of enjoy and everything. And this episode, this flashback, just they took it. They giveth and they take it away. They giveth and they take it away. One episode they giveth, the next episode they take it away. You know, just god damn it, just the Tuskens, and even the trainer. Seeing the trainer's dead body there, with the gun next to her and everything. Just oh god, that just hurt. That hurt. Like, you know, like arguably one of their best warriors was still taken down by those fucking biker douchebags and everything. So yeah, and I think seeing Boba deal with that too, seeing Boba just kind of walking through the encampment and seeing their dead bodies, seeing the dead banthas and everything, and then by the end of it, piling their bodies up and burning them away and everything, just oh god. So the biker gang. So I mean I think the biker gang clearly. I think that they clearly got the message before Boba did, and they had the exact same idea as him. Because even Boba, even once Boba found out that the Tuskens and the biker gang were up for protection money, like conflicts and everything, you know, he had the same idea, and then they had the same idea too. But then they just got the news. They got the news a lot earlier than him, and they actually did the kind of had the same idea. So that gave them the kind of head start that they needed. So he literally disappeared for like 5 minutes, and then he comes back, and then they're all gone, and just it's just so tragic. It's so tragic to think too. Like they watched him leave with the hopes of actually him coming back with money or coming back with a better deal or something, and then all of a sudden the biker gang shows up and he's still nowhere to be found. So they're probably kind of waiting for him to come to test shop too, but then he never does, and then they're all being picked off one by one, and just god damn it. Just yeah. So So I mean, I think now he's probably gonna go after the bike gang in like a much more vengeful way too. So I think the bike gang were also the same people at that other kind of building in the first episode that he saw where they were beating up that one guy, and I think that kind of like that symbol they spray paint is their symbol. That's their signature. So that's a sign that they've actually been to the environment, and whatever massacre has been caused to the environment has been done by them. So that's their signature and their symbol and everything. So. That's that. But yeah, the Tuscans just goddamn the kid. There was a kid there, the trainer, the leader, all the other Tuscans that actually took him in and gave him food and gave him shelter and gave him clothes and actually like they rebirthed him like like in literally in the previous episode and everything. Gave him a new start and gave him a new path and everything, and then they're gone just like that. So. So I can definitely imagine that Boba might come back against them and come back to fight them in like a much more vengeful way and like a much more kind of terrifying way. So maybe next episode when he's next in the back to pod and having those flashbacks again, maybe then we can see him hunting them down. I imagine it might go somewhere down like in Game of Thrones, when I think it was the Hound who he went on his own way for a while too, and he actually found like a group of people. Led by that one guy. I can't remember what the actor's name is. The actor's name, I think, Patrick, or not Patrick. I think was it Patrick? I don't think so. I don't think the one of the main dudes from John Wick too. I think I can't remember what, like for the life of me what his actual the actor's actual name is. I think he played Winston in John Wick. What is the actor's name? Ian McShane. Ian McShane. Like he was in Game of Thrones too. He played like the leader of that one group. Like they were kind of just like their own little kind of congregation, and they were I think that they were building like a church or like a bell tower or something. Like they were building something, but then like I think for them it was like a similar enough issue where I think they were actually visited by like a passing band of like other knights or kind of bandits or something, and they were asked for food, but then they didn't have any to give. So then the bandits came back later on and slaughtered all of them and actually hung Ian McShane's character and everything. So then like that the Hound came back to that. The Hound literally came back to all the people slaughtered and everything. So then he actually took the axe and personally hunted them down and killed everyone of them. So I feel like with that one, it all happened in the same episode. Like that would like all that stuff happened in the same episode. So with this one, it's like this one has the flashback that shows us Boba coming back to that massacre. So the next episode might have the flashback that shows us him actually hunting down the bikers and actually killing them, and then moving on. So because now the Tuscans are now that tribe is gone. Now that Tuscan tribe is gone. So like those were his people. See, they're gone. So then once he finishes off this one final act of vengeance, if even, then that'll be what he does, and then he'll probably go, and then after that we'll probably go back to him. I think that maybe that might be leading up to him kind of seeing Mando riding off into the horizon with his armor and everything. So yeah, so yeah, maybe soon. But yeah, that just R.I.P. to the Tuscans. R.I. freaking P to the Tuscans. Just they deserve so much better than that. They deserve so much better. Like they were so good. They were so good to him. They were such good characters and such good aspects of the story and of Boba's history too. So I guess in that aspect, then them dying also kind of pushes his story forward and makes him kind of carry on their teachings and carry on their trainings and actually makes him kind of forge his own path without them too. So I guess maybe that way story wise it makes sense. But still, it doesn't hurt any less seeing Tuscans slaughtered and dead on the ground with all their shit burning and everything. So. R.I.P. to the Tuscans, and I look forward to seeing Boba beating the even more brutal shit out of those biker dudes. So yeah, all in good time. And I think even the beginning they kind of mentioned that it is like starting to get like a little bit Game of Thronesy with the three families divided up upon Mos Espa too, like the Trandoshans, I think the Aqualatics, I think he said, and the Clatoonians too, so like three different families actually split among different kind of sects of Mos Espa and everything, and they were divided under Bib Fortuna's rule too. So I think they were divided under his rule, and they were divided under different values and different properties and different kind of aspects of wealth and stuff like that. So I think that stuff is still in establishment even under Boba's reign, which I think is probably yet to still kind of reach the ears of certain people. So you know, just kind of still kind of like still taking the time to actually establish exactly just how much he has to get familiar with, but also just how much he has to actually kind of get control over and actually take charge of and actually show that he's the one in power now instead and everything. So, but yeah, I think overall, I think it's I think Boba is just kind of being shown. I think this one was definitely like a tiny bit more explorative of Mos Espa as well. Like actually showing him kind of being somewhat like, I mean, because I think in terms of actual kind of establishments and actual characters, I think the only people we've really seen him interact with are Garsa Fwip and her kind of whole cantina, and then of course the mayor Mok Shaiz as well. So I think only those two parties are really the actual people that he's actually interacted with. But then I think, but then again, he's like more like a crime lord. So I think he would have to kind of be in contact with people who are like who he's financially connected to and financially kind of responsible for, and actually connected to in like that kind of like a mob way and everything. So he probably wouldn't be able to just go up to random citizens and ask them how their days go. I mean, he could, but then it probably like that just wouldn't be his kind of professional obligation to do so. So like I think they're still kind of restricting that exploration and that kind of world building stuff. Like I think still building a world around him, but then he's also the one in it, so they still have to kind of like have everything kind of gravitate and kind of focus on him and focus towards him and his path and exactly what he chooses to do as the new daimyo and everything. So yeah, it's still interesting though. It's still really, really interesting to actually watch it all unfold and seeing how it all kind of comes together and everything. So yeah. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this one. Great episode, really, really fun episode, really fun moments, and hats off to Robert Rodriguez for the direction on this, and hats off to Jon Favreau on actually writing the episode and making it what it was. Really, really loving these new Star Wars series, and all the more motivated to actually go and check out the older ones as well, and all the older kind of animated series that they've got still available, ready to watch on Disney Plus. So looking forward to all those as well. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've picked up from this one. So yeah, that was the Book of Boba Fett, Season 1, Episode 3, Chapter 3. So thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then leave a like and feel free to comment whatever your thoughts are on this episode and how you felt about it and what kind of direction you think or hope that they're taking this in and what you hope to see from the future of this from the season and everything. The full-length reaction to the episode will be available over on Patreon, so if you're interested in that, then you can go check it over there. That is it from me for now, so bye-bye.